Hey guys, it's me. I'm back. Now, given the fact that we're all sitting at home and having too much time on our hands, I'm going to do a little video because this is something that a lot of people have asked me to do for quite a while now. And I think now's the perfect opportunity. I have time on my hands. I'm quarantined at home. And yes, this is day 7, MCO, Movement Control Order. And so I'm going to drop a video on just the art of emceeing. So this is something that I've been doing professionally now for 18 years. I officially became an MC in the year 2002, and this year will mark my 18th year. So I'm just going to share little tips and hacks on what has worked for me and what I think will work for you. So just listen with an open mind, and I hope that each and every one of you who has a chance to watch this video will learn something from it. So first question that I would pose to you is, if you have the gift of the gab, if someone has always said that, dude, he, she, you really have the knack to speak and you speak professionally well. Actually, let me take that back. You speak very well in regular circumstances. So the question to ask yourself then is, what kind of MC am I? Now, some of us do very well in a particular genre of emceeing. And when I say genre of emceeing, is equivalent to genres of music. So how I break it down is, you've got the formal MCs, you've got the fun MCs, and you've got the MCs who can do a little of both. So when I started out doing the fun stuff, and then I went into doing formal as well. And then eventually I realized that my true calling was to be a fun MC. So I stepped away from doing the formal bits, and it was the best move I've ever made. Now, there's plenty of my peers in the industry who do both and do it very well. So the question to ask yourself is, what does your personality best represent? So if you are somebody who's just a whole ball of fun and you do very well as a fun party MC or a hype MC, then that might naturally be your calling. Now, whereas if you're studious or just more of a quieter personality, now you might make a really good formal MC. So the key question is here is, whichever language you're going to be hosting in, especially in the local region, whether it's English, Malay, Chinese, Tamil, and for those of you anywhere else in the world, whatever bilingual skills you have or trilingual skills you have, good on you. But I'm going to speak from a standpoint of hosting in English. Now, the idea is to find your niche. Your niche is, what do you do well in? So I eventually found out that I was really good in doing the fun stuff. And that's exactly where I embraced it. And the day I embraced it is the day that I would say the floodgates opened. So that turning point for me was about 8 years into hosting professionally. In the first 8 years, I was doing everything that came my way. First of all, just to make ends meet, to pay the bills. But eventually I realized that I was really good at a particular style, which is what I do today. So my style is, I'm a hyper MC. I do games, I'm an improv. So I do a lot of observational comedy on stage. I'm not a stand-up comedian. I can't do that per se when I stand up in front of people, but the moment I go into MC showman mode, I pick up on whatever's happening around me and boom, it comes out. So I'm also well known to be a roaster. Now, I roast people on the fly. I am able to do it very well in this Southeast Asian region, especially in Malaysia, Singapore, because of the cultural differences that we understand about each other, the nuances that make up who we are. And I do a lot of observational wit and observational comedy, and I roast people on the fly. Now, that has been my go-to. Now, I'm also a hyper game MC. Like I do fun games, I do party games, I'm known to be pretty crazy. So that's my style. You need to embrace your style. What works for you? Now, I've got plenty of my peers who do very well in a formal setting, and that's why they're hosting a ton of formal events, from the meetings, the conferences, the launches, government level, global leader level. Now, that's great. So that's your niche, that is your niche. Now, if you're going to be a fun MC or a party MC or a wedding MC, all that's great. Get comfortable with yourself. So my tip to each and every one of you is, dig deep, ask yourself, all right, so you're well known to speak well, be it in English, Bahasa, Chinese, Tamil, or whatever the language you do. What's number 2? Your personality. Embrace your personality. And you need to enjoy what you're doing. You can't force yourself. I reached that point after 8 years. I realized I was forcing myself to be a formal MC, and I was literally sweating buckets. The only reason I'm perspiring like a cow now is because I'm trying to keep it really quiet here in my home studio environment with no minimal white noise. So I've turned on all the air conditioning and the fans, and hence I am smoldering here. So the point is, you don't want to be in this environment when you're on stage. And I was like that. And the day I walked away from formal emceeing was the best day of my life. That year was 2010, and the floodgates opened. So it's been a decade now of me being this crazy, hyper fun MC. Now I do very well with children as well because I was a clown before. So if you have these niche markets, take advantage of it. So what I do today, I host, I do improv comedy, I play games, I can handle children, I can handle adults, I can handle teenagers, whatever it is. That stemmed from my clown background. So what I'm trying to say is here, look yourself in the mirror. You've identified that you speak well. You've identified that this is what you want to do. So number 2 is pick up a style of emceeing that's going to work for you. Now, number 3 is, my personal tip is always be in the know-how of all that's happening around you, from pop culture, the latest news, the business news, the world news. All this will come into play when you are on stage. If you are a well-read, if you are a learned MC, clients will gravitate towards you. You can't just be somebody who's like, I'm going to get up there and speak and earn a living. So my personal advice to each and every one of you who wants to choose emceeing as a professional career is, first of all, improve yourself. Education is a lifelong process. You never stop learning. So constantly read, and read. The more you read, knowledge is power. Number 2, grooming. The cloth maketh the man, from the Kingsman movie. That is absolutely true. So if you're going to be a formal MC, make sure you have the correct attire, from suits to hairstyles, to shoes, to belts, to makeup for the ladies, to dresses, and the whole 9 yards. The list goes on. Now, if you're going to be a fun MC, again, if you're going to be a thematic party MC, then make sure you go all out and you understand the event, you understand the theme, and you put effort in at your cost to prepare yourself to look the part. An MC makes or breaks an event. So folks, you need to understand that the success of that event, where so much effort has been put in, lies on your shoulders, lies in your hands. So my tip is, embrace it, understand it, put the effort in, go the extra mile. And I know many local MCs, shout out to them for just, they're getting crazier and crazier with their outfits. William, he's just killing it. He's slaying it with his outfits, from the makeup to the outfits. Cody is doing a marvelous job. Melvin has always been doing it. Terrence as well. I do what I do. There's quite a few of us who really put our heart and soul into making sure that we bring a theme alive. So ladies and gentlemen, folks, if you're going to be an MC, number 1 is make sure you're driven by passion. Number 2, don't chase the money. The money will follow. Number 3, put your heart and soul into what you do, because to each person who has booked you, who has engaged you, that event is their everything, be it a wedding, be it a meeting, be it a conference, be it a dinner, be it a launch, whatever the event that you've been booked to host, always bring your A game. Always give 100%. In fact, give 200%. I don't care if you've had little sleep, you've not had enough rest, you're tired, you've been hosting back to back. Take care of yourself. Get as much rest as you can in between. Drink a lot of water. Water is your best friend. Okay? And with that, you stay energized, you stay empowered, and you bring the A game each and every time. So just to summarize, what I have for you guys is, understand your true calling, understand the nature of genre of emceeing that works for you, and just constantly improve. In fact, soul search, check back what you've done, look back at your videos and improvise from that. I cringe when I look back at my early MC videos, but today I'm much happier and prouder of myself with the journey that has come thus far. So the same applies to each and every one of you. If you want to be an MC, or you are an MC and you want to get ahead of yourself, push yourself harder, be your worst critic, be your biggest critique. Always strive to get better at what you do. Don't be complacent. Don't let pride set in. Don't get complacent that you're making great money and this is going to last forever. We have a shelf life, guys. And the idea is to stay healthy and stay relevant and just keep killing it, keep doing it. Bring your A game every single time. So this is just me in a short 10 minutes, just summarizing what has worked for me and what I'm going to keep doing till the day Kumbaya. Hallelujah. Yeah. So, ladies and gentlemen, I really hope you enjoyed this little video, and I'm just happy to be able to just put it out there what has worked for me. Thank you.